25 years ago, the Dayton Peace Agreement brought an end to the horrible war in Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia, and created a new country, Bosnia-Herzegovina, consisting out of two entities, the Republika Srpska of the Serb entity and the Federation of the Bosniaks and the Croats. Still, in this country, ethnic divisions and ethnic criteria play a big role, a too big role, because many issues the country has, like many others, of course, like the environmental issue, the social issue, the employment questions, are far from being solved. The younger generation thinks differently. The younger generation thinks about these issues, which are important for their life, and which should be solved or nearly solved in order to create new opportunities for the young people also to stay in the country. We asked several of these young people to give their opinion. We asked people in Bosnia-Herzegovina, but also in Vienna, coming from the country, what their issues is, what their ideas and opinions for the future is. And we will also have in the coming weeks some 2 panel discussions in order to discuss the future of the country, because the future of Bosnia-Herzegovina is very important also for the future of the whole Western Balkan.
Lejla Kusturica. I work and live in Sarajevo. I define myself as an activist. Currently, I'm running a foundation called Atelier for Community Transformation Act here in Sarajevo. So Foundation Atelier for Community Transformation Act was founded as a joint effort between Bosnian people living abroad and Bosnian people living in Bosnia right now. The idea behind it is to support activists and artists who are engaged into the processes of transforming Bosnian and Herzegovinian communities to reach the broader level of progressiveness. Currently, we are supporting the movement defending the rivers here in Bosnia against small hydropower plants. For the past 10 years, activists living at the rivers started noticing that rivers were attacked by the corrupted politicians and unconscious investors. We say this because in court we proved that those permits that were given to these people were actually not legit. They were not founded in law. Right now, there are a number of rivers that are being attacked, and several thousand people who are very actively defending rivers, fighting against corruption in their local communities, and trying to actually preserve the biodiversity of these beautiful rivers, since they live off rivers. Rivers for them are not only beautiful, but they are really a source and the main resource, natural resource for their existence. We support them in a way that we help them run campaigns, and we together with them run campaign to teach the public what's behind this movement, what are the damages that these projects are causing in these local communities. In the past several months, we actually gained the support of the global international environmental community. More than 25 big globally known environmental organization with more than 30 million members supported Bosnian activists fighting for, we say, the freedom of rivers. They recognize that Bosnia is very important for the health of the whole planet. So the movement is very vivid. in the past months, we actually gained the attention of the government of Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. There was a meeting held, and we actually submitted our requests. So we hope that soon we will get a response by the authorized ministries and the prime minister of this part of the country, since we were promised that this part of the country will change its energy strategy in terms of small hydropower plants, that rivers will be saved, and that the transfer to green and renewable energy will take a different course towards solar and wind energy. Many people feel that Bosnia has never been in a worse condition ever since the end of the war. And obviously, right after the war, the country was devastated. We had to rebuild everything. And now we have buildings, we have better roads, schools. The infrastructure was rebuilt, but the general feeling is that people lost hope. After 25 years after the war, people think that things should have changed earlier. And if they didn't so far, that it was going to be hard to change it to become something better. The sense of justice is something that everyone feels is not present in Bosnia. The ordinary people are tricked and constantly put aside. Their interests are not being taken into regards when big and important political decisions are being made. But we cannot be discouraged by this. I constantly ask Bosnian people to find a little bit of more strength to actually push this to the ultimate goal, which is a more just and progressive and equal and inclusive society here in our country. I travel across Bosnia, and I think it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world, with one of the most beautiful people in the world. We just have to find that strength, and we cannot become hopeless, waiting for the world to change something, to help us become the society that we want to have. We really have to build it by ourselves. And so many bad things in the past happened. War really devastated people psychologically, emotionally. And newer, younger generations, the world has changed. They live more online than they do offline, and their interests have become different. But I think that there are still these environmental activists in Bosnia. They prove that there are still people believing in something and having strength to actually fight for something that is more just. And I constantly repeat and ask for Bosnians and Herzegovinians to find that strength, to do as little as they can. Everyone can do something, regardless of how little that is. Little by little is something huge. And that's exactly what we need. We need all people investing in this society, really avoiding corrupted actions, even bribing a police officer when they drive over the speed limit. I constantly have this discussion with my friends, with the people that I meet. It starts with that. What you invest in, it grows. And people don't believe, so I also understand that part of the equation. People stop believing, so they are not investing. But we really have to go back to the hope and think about the children. Parents are the most motivated people in the world, and we keep talking about the generations that will have to live here. What are we really leaving for them? How are we going to look into their eyes and say, like, it is what it is? No, we have to try. I am a believer in a way that I'm an optimistic person, and I think that the world will become a better place, that people have to unite. We have to express solidarity towards each other. And in the end, everyone should be able to look themselves into eyes and say, I tried. I gave my best. And if everyone tried, I am absolutely confident that we would have a far better and more beautiful world to live in.